people said amen. Look with me, if you will, because in that 22nd verse, something jumped out at me that I want for us to consider this morning. It says, and he removed from thence and digged another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth. Somebody say Rehoboth. Rehoboth. Now watch this. And he said, for now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. I want you to look at somebody who's sitting next to you and say to them with all seriousness, neighbor, make room for me. That's what I want to talk about. Tell somebody, you better make room for me. Look at somebody who's sitting too close and tell them, scoot over. Make some room for me. Make some room, make some room, make some room. The text begins in chapter 26, verse 17, with something that, if you follow the story, could be construed as very disconcerting. Because verse 17 says that Isaac gets up from where he was and departs and then goes into the place called Gerar. Yes, sir. If you follow the text, if you follow the story, it's disconcerting. It's concerning because where Isaac was, he was being blessed. Where he found himself prior to this transition, he was being blessed. But what we discover is that the enemy could not handle what was happening in the life of Isaac. And he got jealous. And so the enemy, Abimelech, literally says to Isaac, you're getting too large. You got to get up and get out of here. We can't have you blowing up like this. You got to get away from us. And so without fighting, Isaac decides, well, let me get up and move into this place called Gerar. It's troubling because when you look at what Gerar literally was, it was a desert place. Yeah. Gerar was considered a place that was barren. In fact, the name Gerar literally means circular. And so it was a barren place that if you were not careful, you'd end up walking around in circles. But yet Isaac gets up from where he was and begins to move. And he moves not with apprehension, he moves with conviction. He moves understanding that the same God that had blessed him where he was is the same God who still sits on the throne. All right. And that ultimately, God that had blessed him before still had his hand on him and would bless him anywhere he went. And so that blessed me because it said to me that if you're a child of God, you need not become concerned with where you are right now. Because God is still on the throne, and wherever you are, he knows how to bless you. Whatever transition that you find yourself in, and for whatever the reason you find yourself on the move, don't become disconcerted because God still knows how to bless you. So the text says,